It's time to talk some basketball. Well, in the first NBA Finals game at the Gardens Arena in Boston since 2010, the Celtics roared on the home crowd. They beat the Warriors 116-100 to take a 2-1 series lead. We have the highlights.
Boston Celtics split the first two games on the road in Golden State, stealing home court advantage in the NBA Finals. Tonight, they defend their own home court in front of Celtics legend Paul Pierce. Golden State trying to prevent Boston from taking a 2-1 lead, but Jaylen Brown, other ideas, knocks down the floater. Then Brown, the lefty layup, and you see Boston already up 13, shot clock winding down. Brown drains the triple. He had 17 points in the opening quarter. Boston up by 13 in the second quarter. Jason Tatum, three-pointer here. The lead swells to 18. Boston blowing Golden State out, but here come the Warriors. Klay Thompson, 4-3 money. He had 15 at the half. 25 in the game, and have you heard of Steph Curry? Andrew Wiggins gets the steal. There's Steph on the three, and that is cash, and all of a sudden the lead is down to 9. Al Horford steals this one. Jason Tatum to Jaylen Brown on a beautiful little touch pass here. Brown 22 points at the half. He finished with 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in the game. At the break, Boston led this thing by a dozen, 68-56. Could they prevent, though, the inevitable third quarter run from Golden State? Well, Steph Curry knocking down a 2-point jumper here as his dad and brother look on. The lead down to 8. Then the Warriors with a 7-point trip down the floor. Steph makes a 3-pointer plus the foul. Watch it again. Al Horford is called for a flagrant 1. Curry makes the flagrant foul free throw, and the Warriors retain possession. So, following that, it's Andrew Wiggins to Otto Porter for the 3-pointer, and just like that, the Golden State Warriors are right back in this thing down 2. Warriors get their first lead since 2-0 as Steph Curry hits a 3-pointer, and that third quarter run did happen. Jason Tatum, though, spins, drives for the tough layup with just over 2 minutes to go in the third. Then in the fourth, Marcus Smart banks in the 3-pointer here. It's 98-89 after this. Smart, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Then Jason Tatum driving in traffic. Look at him working on Steph Curry. And Draymond just can't stop Jason Tatum. Too young, too athletic, too explosive. Tatum, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Then Jason Tatum misses, loose ball. Marcus Smart comes up with it and is fouled. Paul Pierce pumped after this, but you got to see the replay here. Al Horford sort of lands on Steph Curry at Steph Curry's left leg, sort of left ankle area, and Curry is shaken up, so concern for Golden State. Draymond Green fouls out on the play. He finished with 2 points and 4 rebounds, and he was angry. Boston was up by a dozen. Jason Tatum, double. Al Horford gets the ball, lobs it up to Robert Williams. He had 8 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 big blocks. Boston controls this one down the stretch. They win it 116-100 and go up 2-1 in this best-of-7 series.
Joining us now to review the night's action is our NBA analyst, Alister Albert. Alister, welcome. I'd like to start by talking about the winners.
The winners, yeah, the Celtics were just, they kind of switched places with the Warriors last night, because what it seems like the Warriors and their strengths, what makes the Warriors, the Celtics seems to have just taken that over from them. 3-point shooting, assists, and also being able to force turnovers and the defensive and offensive versatility that we always praise the Warriors for. The Celtics seems to have this under control right now. So they just came out, and I thought the last time we spoke, I figured maybe they're coming home and they might probably be a bit too pumped for the game. They're coming back home. Yeah. They might have unforced errors and everything. But they played very poised, and the Warriors were the ones who had all the unforced errors and kind of created a hole for themselves, and that's why they lost.
Right. Even I, kept saying on the show like a broken record that, their home record is poor, but Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, once they both play well together, we see the Celtics are a force to be reckoned with.
Definitely. And for me, what Jaylen Brown did last night in terms of how he started out the first quarter and how he kind of helped them in the game one, where he, in that fourth quarter, was really pivotal in that comeback. You know, he's kind of cemented for me, like in terms of this MVP, finals MVP ladder. He's kind of the one for me right now. He's played so good, throughout these finals and kind of kept this team afloat. When Jason Tatum hasn't been producing and performing, he's been the one to step up and keep the Celtics in the game. So yeah, Jaylen Brown has been good. Jason Tatum, of course, he had another outstanding game, and Marcus Smart, filled in their big three. The first team in 38 years, or the first trio in 38 years, to have at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. So yeah, they played really well, and kudos to them. And I hope, let's see what happens next game. Do the Warriors bounce back, or do the Celtics continue this onslaught? We'll find out.
Yes, Alister, the last time you were on the show, I asked you about Draymond Green, and the question may have come across as comical, because I wanted to know if you felt that he would have been ejected by the end of this series. But now I have another Draymond Green question, and is it that he is his worst enemy, and by extension the team, because his points, 2 points in an entire NBA game, 4 rebounds and 3 assists. So basically, the amount of fouls that he committed, way more than the 2 points.
Yeah, Draymond is yeah, like you say, he's a little bit of his own worst medicine at the same time. He's loved for the intensity and the emotion that he brings, and sometimes it just crowds him. I just read an article just during the break there and everything, and I heard him complaining about what the fans in Boston were saying to him. It's like, what did you expect? You come into the Garden, these guys are not going to be classy, as Steve Kerr said and everything. And Isaiah Thomas, Hall of Famer from the Detroit Pistons, looked at it and said, this is not grade school, Draymond. This is the NBA Finals. You need to step up. And it's been clearly that. And he's been averaging something like 5.6 rebounds and 5 assists a game. These are not the numbers that the Warriors need for them to progress to winning these series from Draymond Green. And yeah, he's not been good. And like you say, he's been his worst enemy. Sorry, in this series. And he needs to step it up.
Steph Curry, the man who the Golden State Warriors will be depending on. Any additional information, any update on his injury?
He has said that he's going to be playing. He's made it very clear that, he intends to give it a go. But my concern for me is not him being able to play. I think, he'll push through. This is a moment where they need their team leader. My concern is what has been said about Steph Curry throughout his finals career. He disappears in the fourth quarter. Last night alone, he only had 2 points. The game before where they won, okay, he didn't play the fourth quarter, so that's fine. The first game where they lost again, he only had 4 points. Steph Curry needs to be the man who is the man in Golden State. Everyone recognizes him as being the leader of this team. And when it's time for him to step up and stamp his impact on the game, he's not doing that. And that's where, George and I had this conversation about scoring versus shooting. Kevin Durant is not walking through that door. And, you need him to be able to be that guy who could consistently score for the Warriors, or that's it. They're going to be going home.
Predict game 4 for us now.
Predict game 4. I am still going to stick with my predictions. I've been saying Warriors in 6 for the last couple of days, but I actually don't believe they could do that. They need to win 3 straight games for that to happen. So I think they could kind of win the next game potentially. But I'll say, yeah, they can win the next game. And right now, I'm going to say Warriors in 7. But if they lose on Friday, tomorrow, this is it for the Warriors. They're not going to win. Do
you expect to see any changes when they play game 4?
What I'd like to see from Steve Kerr is to play Johnathan Kuminga. One of the things that I said at the start of this series was, they had this defensive versatility. They could have gone at least 9 or 10 or 11 players deep, and they're not using the players who are explosive and long enough. We saw Robert Williams getting a lot of lob passes at the rim. They're being out-rebounded in all the games that they played really badly and everything. So you need some athleticism and length and just energy and fresh legs to come into this series and kind of provide an impact. They're using Iguodala. I just don't understand what's going on. When Draymond Green fouled out, Andre Iguodala came into the game, and it was a moment where they probably needed that just boost of youth and athleticism. So Steve Kerr hopefully uses him a little more and just kind of just creates some more disturbances in the offensive flow for the Celtics, and hopefully they shoot better, because if they're not shooting as the Celtics are out shooting them right now, and if they don't do what their signature is, they're going to lose.
Alister, I want to thank you so much. What we do know is a lot is banking on Game 4. We look forward to talking to you at the end of that game.
Definitely. See you guys later.
Take care. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.